Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about orchids, and I wanted to share with you this beautiful, beautiful orchid that I have here in my kitchen. My nephew sent me this back on March 15th, and it has just been full of beautiful, beautiful blooms. March 15th was my mother's birthday, and she passed 3.5 years ago. And if she had lived this year, she would be 99 years old. So she lived to be 95. And Sean, my nephew, he always sent my mother flowers. And this year he sent me this beautiful, beautiful orchid in memory of my mother on her birthday. So it's very, very special to me. It has bloomed and it has all these limbs here that it was just full of blooms. And it has come to the end of its blooming life. And so now what we want to do, I want to wait until all the blooms fall off, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how we're going to trim it, how we're going to fertilize it, and how we're going to water it. And if you have orchids in your home, then you can certainly share information with us, and I would appreciate that, how you take care of yours. But you can see that the blooms are almost, well, they're just, I'll take this one off, for example. It's still blooming a little bit, but you can see the stem here. It's white, and it'll fall off in a few days. So once it falls off, and I'll show you, let me turn it around. It was beautiful on both sides. I mean, this doesn't do justice to it. It was so beautiful and so full of blooms. But I will see you back in a couple of weeks. I probably won't have on the same thing that I have on today. But I'll come back and we'll talk about orchids again, and I'll put the videos together and just make one video so that you can see and have it all in one place. I'll see you in about a couple of weeks. Hey everybody, I'm outside with my orchid. I told you that I would be back in a couple of weeks and we would trim it together. Well, it has been 3 weeks, and you can tell, I hope you can see the bloom. It just won't give up blooming. So I think it has maybe 3 or 4 little blooms left on it, but I'm going to go ahead and trim it and show you how to do that because my orchid needs water. Now let's talk about watering for just a minute. You don't want to overwater your orchid. Only when the soil begins to feel dry do you want to add water. And today, after I trim mine and cut it back, then I'm going to fertilize it, and I'm using just this orchid food. I mixed some up in my little watering can. I went by the directions on the back, and I'll continue following those directions and watering it every couple of weeks, maybe once a month. And then we'll just sit back and wait and watch this foliage continue to thrive, and the stems will begin to grow again, and hopefully we're going to have some more beautiful orchids. But I will bring you in and I'll show you how we're going to cut it. And I'll have to admit, I contacted my good friend Janine, and I said, Janine, you are the orchid queen. You grew them when we worked together. They were in your window at work and they were beautiful. Everybody oohed and awed about them, and I know that you know how to do it. So she told me how to cut these orchids back, and I'm going to do it exactly like she told me. So let me just get up, and I'm going to go ahead and bring you in and show you how to do it. Okay, the first thing that I want to do is to explain to you what these things are here. These are just sticks. You know, I tell you that this orchid was given to me by my nephew, and the florist delivered it to our home. So these are just sticks that help to hold the stems up as they grow. They just kind of serve as a prop. And I had moved this one over because the orchid was in my face when I was trying to record. So these just kind of hold these up, and they were tied together, and I just untied them. So I'm going to leave these in here. They aren't hurting anything, and they'll be there when the orchids begin to grow again. But this is all that we need to do. About 2 inches from the moss right here, you want to cut the stem and just lift it off. And the same is true here. About 2 inches above, you just want to clip it off. And I think I have 4 stems, so I'm going to reach through here, cut this one. Y'all, this is so simple. It's absolutely too simple for me. Of course, you know I love simple. And here we go with the last one. So I've cut these off about 2 inches above the moss. Now this, I'm not sure. Maybe some of you can help me. I think that this is a new stem. It could be a root that's just coming up, but I'm not going to bother it. I'm just going to leave it right there. We're going to watch it and we're going to see what it does. So I'm going to reach around here and I'm going to get my watering can, and I've already mixed up my fertilizer, and I'm probably going to get it everywhere. So I'm just going to kind of lift this moss up so I can make sure that it gets wet around the sides. And I am kind of spilling it everywhere. That's the reason I put this plastic tablecloth on my table out here, and I also put it on here for another reason. My picnic table has a glass top and it creates a lot of glare, and so I'm just watering, pouring a little bit on the orchids. And when I get finished, I'm going to take this back inside. I'll place it back exactly where it was. It was near my sink, and it gets indirect light there. And I think that that is perfect. And now it probably won't need watering for probably a month. That'll soak in really, really well, and we will just watch this grow. So what we're going to do now, the stems, here they are, just like this. I'm just going to toss those, throw those away. And this is ready to go back inside, and I'll just watch it grow. Thank you for joining me on my patio today. Thank you for watching the video on how to take care of our orchids. I am new to this, so I'm learning as well as you are. So what I would ask for you to do as viewers, as friends, as followers, that if you have orchids and you are an experienced orchid grower, then give us some comments and give us some suggestions. You know, I tell you all the time that this is what my page is all about. It's about sharing with each other, learning from each other, and just trying to be better in everything that we do, and making life more beautiful and more pleasant. So until next time, I hope that you are blessed, and I will see you again really, really soon.